People, deluded, I'm back again. I hope you're all doing well and safe. I hope you're all blessed. With the season being done, all we really got to talk about really is transfer news, rumors, gossip, etc., etc. As I say, 99.9% of these things tend to be BS, but you know, you hope some of them are right, and if nothing more, it provides decent talking points for us. So if you allow me to share my screen, we'll get straight into it. Now, I'm sure a lot of you, I know I would, would love Arsenal to sign a midfielder or central midfielder specifically, and are big fans of Youssouf Fofana, who I've done a video before. We've been linked with him already. Monaco have qualified for the Champions League, but Fofana has 1 year left on his deal, and you could imagine, after obviously I think he really took up his form in the second half of the season in France, and with the Euros to obviously compete in, he's going to draw even more admirers. And a number of players that are linked with not just Arsenal but several other clubs, they will be in the Euros, so I don't know if they want their future resolved prior to the European Championships or after, but we'll have to see. But allegedly, apologies, the Monaco CEO Thiago Scuro has admitted that it's likely Youssouf Fofana will be sold this summer. He was linked with Nottingham Forest and Newcastle last summer, in which he said people that, between those two clubs in Monaco, he would rather stay at Monaco. Manchester United have been linked with him. Arsenal have been linked with him. And apparently he could be an alternative to Martin Zubimendi, who appears reluctant to leave boyhood club Real Sociedad. Monaco to sell Fofana. It's been widely reported in France that this summer Fofana could finally get his big move abroad, and this has been echoed by Monaco's CEO while speaking to GFFN. The club chief admitted that Fofana could be sold in the upcoming window. There were good opportunities for him to leave last summer. It was his decision to stay because of his personal goals. It was a very good decision for us because he had a very good and consistent season. For him too, it was probably his best season at Monaco. So again, that stability allowed him to play, perform. Not that I think he would struggle to get into the France squad, but with all their talent, if you move to another club and you struggle, other people might take your position. So he clearly wanted to leave Monaco the right way, and he's done that. He's helped them get Champions League football, and he's been called up to the Euros. He's probably one of the players that we are open to selling. We will see the opportunities that he has. It is still too early to make a decision. So again, it is very early to make a decision. We'll have to see. Romano said Monaco have hinted that Fofana could be a name to leave the club this summer. My understanding is that Monaco will communicate the asking price for Fofana in 1 or 2 weeks. I think he could be available for around 20 million euros. Now, if he is, we don't know how much he's going to ask for in terms of a weekly wage, but if he is available for 20 million euros, which is about 18 odd million quid, give or take, for me, get it done. Keeping up the theme with France, people, again, I hope my prayers have been answered. I've told you a lot about DOUÉ of Rennes. Rennes have a great academy. They produce ballers. I've seen a lot of him for Rennes and at France's youth level. Apparently, Arsenal have joined Manchester United in the race to sign him. Can play in a number of roles. I think he's a 10 and an 8 long term. And I'm all for it, people. There have been some rumors that have said, Rennes want him to be the club record sale. So it would be a big ticket item and a lot of money would be required, people. Their manager has said to go with the Arsenal and Man United interest. We know today's market, notably for very young players. He will decide through his personal ambition. I'm not naive. We're glad to have developed him during the second part of the season. He's at risk of leaving without a full season here. That's a shame. I would have liked that. That would have been an ideal situation, said in reference to the 18-year-old on Sunday. There's hope that he'll become the club's record signing, eclipsing the 66 million euros that Man City paid to sign Jeremy Doku last summer. Given the teams interested in the France youth international, considered one of the most talented players of his generation, reaching the desired 70 million euros may be a possibility. Reaching that figure would depend on bonuses, with Rennes willing to listen to offers north of 40 million euros. According to reports, Arsenal have joined Manchester United and PSG in showing an interest in the attacker, people capable of playing through the middle or out wide. PSG, Arsenal, Manchester United all have the financial means to pull off a deal for DOUÉ. However, it is thought that Borussia Dortmund, Leipzig and newly crowned Bundesliga champions Leverkusen do not. The latter tried and failed to bring the Frenchman to Germany and France. In January, I'm reading two things, people. Apologies. Their chance to do so may have passed after Premier League competition joined the races. Now, to be honest with you, PSG, it looks like they're trying to do the youngster thing, quote unquote, and it would make sense, I guess, to a degree to join them. It also makes sense to stay at Rennes and play and get some development. Borussia Dortmund are the poster boys. You see it with Haaland, with Bellingham, in terms of that. You leave one club, you join Borussia Dortmund, they're an intermediate step, big up them because they're in the Champions League final, and then you go off to the bigger clubs and whatnot. And Leipzig would be great as well. You see what they're doing with Sesko, with what they've done with Openda last season that's just gone, and so on and so forth. Would love him, just don't think Arsenal are going to go for him at this moment in time. Once again, apparently Arsenal and United have reportedly initiated contacts to sign the 18-year-old, people. I'm all for it. He did get 4 goals and 6 assists last season, people, and played 42 times. Now, I don't doubt you can do that, but does it make sense? You played a ridiculous amount of times, you're developing. And I do think in today's day and age, when somebody's 18 and they're a half decent player, they have to move tomorrow, really and truly. You know, the man can play as a 10, play as an 8, play as a wide playmaker. He's only going up. I would love him at the club, but does it make sense to leave at this moment in time? Only he knows himself. Again, Arsenal striker links won't go away. Arsenal above all in the race to sign Bologna striker Joshua Zirkzee. The 22-year-old apparently has a 40 million euros release clause, which equates to 34 million pounds. Really like his playmaking ability. Think he can improve in terms of goal scoring, people. He has been linked with us. He got 12 goals and 7 assists in his second year for Bologna. He picked up a hamstring injury, which could rule him out for weeks. Apparently, people, comparing league campaigns, Zirkzee has averaged a goal in every 252 minutes. So yeah, and you look at someone like Sesko, who has a goal every 109 minutes. Sesko also has a release clause of 55 million and has been linked with us. Apparently Arsenal, Liverpool and Man United are in contact for Antonio Silva, the Benfica defender. Still think there's a number of edges he needs to iron out of his game, but he is a good, decent player. But 100 million on the centre half, I think Arsenal would like another defensive body, but I can't see that. That's why I'm quite pessimistic where you look at Gurhey rumours, Diomande rumours, obviously Antonio Silva. I don't doubt it. I would love a centre half. I'd love 3 great centre halves with Saliba and Gabriel and a new one, all competing for essentially 2 positions away from depth and rotation. But it just doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know how much Arsenal have. Arsenal could, you know, make this all redundant by doing such. But if Arsenal were to spend significant terms or significant fees on players, surely it would be for a striker, maybe a blockbuster central midfielder again, maybe even a wide forward, dependent on the striker pursuit, before a significant fee is spent on a centre half. Now, I'm all for it. You know, and there's a reason he's drawing a lot of interest. The 20-year-old's a decent player, and I don't know if he's been called up in the Portugal squad, but he might get to showcase his talents. We've been linked with Belgium Openda, who a lot of you wanted when he was at Lens. Apparently, Arsenal have identified the 40 million RB Leipzig striker who won't break their bank. I'd rather go for Sesko, but I mean, Openda's a very decent player. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts. We're considering a 40 million pound bid for a Bundesliga striker who came 3rd in the scoring chart in Germany this term. He hit 24 goals for Leipzig during the campaign, and he actually had Sesko playing second fiddle to him until the second half of the season, more or less. Arsenal have been linked with him. Obviously, the one consistency has been we've been linked with him when he's in France. We need a striker. So you can see why it's easy to link us with a billion of names. Sesko, Openda, Gyökeres, Ivan Toney, Osimhen, you know, Isaac, the list goes on, Zirkzee, the list goes on. If we sit here, you know, at a point, Ollie Watkins and Solanke, the list will go on if we sat here all day speaking about strikers. So we don't actually know really and truly what the club's doing. But if they were to let him go for 40 million, which unless he's got a release clause, I don't think they will. Fair enough. If he's the right man that Arsenal want, let me know your thoughts. From one Leipzig striker to another, Benjamin Sesko will decide before the Euros whether he wants to sign a new contract at Leipzig or leave this summer. His agent confirmed plans to make a decision within 3 weeks, with several clubs interested, especially in the Premier League. No chance to accept Saudi move, says Romano. Now, check out the video I did yesterday. We've gone over this, you know, and it correlates really. If he wants his future decided before the Euros and Mikel Arteta wants his players in early, or, you know, the business done early so that we know what we're working with next season, let's get it done. And he's got a lot to mull over, really. Does he not sign a new deal and stay at Leipzig and the interest remains? Does he join Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, AC Milan, all of these clubs that have been interested in him? Or does he sign a new deal, you know, obviously earning more money? And for Leipzig, that would probably either be A, removing the release clause, or B, significantly uptaking that, really and truly. 21 years of age, 50 odd million quid. I'm all up for it, people, if I'm completely honest. And I'm not saying the in the knows of this world don't know what they're talking about, but Team News and Ticks has said Arsenal have a real interest in Sesko. Arsenal's interest in Sesko is real, but they see Kai Havertz as a first choice number 9. With Sesko, the stumbling block so far is whether Sesko is willing to be second choice 9 behind Kai, and whether he's willing to play on the wing at the interim. Make yourself play in it, and he can play out wide, Sesko. Make yourself play. You know, I want the best of both worlds. Kai Havertz, whether you're, I don't want to see you play in midfield unless, you know, you can replicate your performances up front in midfield. say, F it. Whatever striker's coming into this club, this is my spot. You have to take it over my dead body. Any striker that's coming into this club, I'm here to make friends, but at the same time, I'm not. I'm coming to take someone's spot. If everybody is fighting for their spot, then we have a more competitive squad. And, you know, that's on one hand. On the other hand, we do need rotation. Yes, we have scored, what, 100? I think we had 113 goals in all comps last season. That's just gone. 80 odd in the league. The second top goal scorers in the Prem. On one hand, maybe us Arsenal fans, and let me know your thoughts, are overrating our need for a striker, or to, you know, someone that could score more goals. But there has been several points this season, especially in December, where we've needed someone whose bread and butter is goals, really and truly, because a lot of our attackers fluctuate. They've all got the potential to score. But on paper right now, Bukayo Saka is the only one in the last few years that has consistently got double figures for goals and assists. Trossard's got the ability to do it, and he joined us mid-season last year. And he was an assist king the season before the one that's just gone. He got 10 assists and like 2 goals. This season, he's got 12. Yes, Jesus has been injured. This season, goal scoring has been non-existent. He had 11 last year. Martinelli had 14, 15. Odegaard's got a handsome return, but he had some decent goals. Kai Havertz is doing his thing, and, you know, especially towards the end of this term, he's been very good. And I don't doubt that these guys can continue to score goals. But who are you betting your life really and truly is going to score goals? I'm not surprised if they do score goals. I'm not necessarily surprised if they don't have these strong campaigns. So as I said, I want the best of both worlds. I want all these existing players to either get back into form or continue their great form and take it to higher levels. And if it was up to me, I personally would like a striker and a winger, or if you can't get a striker, can we get a wide forward that can bring in a healthy catalogue of goals? Who that is, where that is, I don't know. And in that regards, I'm happy I'm not Mikel Arteta and Edu, but that is what I hope to see. And also to address our central midfield issues. I mean, worst kept secret, we know we're going to trigger our option to buy on David Raya, and Aaron Ramsdale probably will depart the football club, and we'll need to sign a backup number 2 goalie. We were linked with Valencia central midfielder, the 21-year-old Javi Guerrero. Apparently Barcelona are ready to join the mix and look to pip Arsenal and Manchester United to his signature. He has a release clause of 100 million euros, in which I think every player in Spain has to have a release clause. Whether, you know, Valencia are open to negotiating, because you'd imagine Arsenal don't necessarily want to do that and spend that kind of fee on someone who's played 39 times in their first season for Valencia in the Spanish first division. But he is a decent player. Never seen this guy before, but apparently Man United are keen on signing Andrea Cambiasso from Juventus this summer. Apparently they will face competition for the 24. The left back. They'll face competition for the left back from Arsenal. So again, that's consistent with our rumours that Arsenal, or specifically Mikel Arteta, based on paper talk, wants a defensive body. And you keep hearing specifically left back. Obviously, Timber looks like he was initially brought in to play right back, but can play there. Tomiyasu can play there. Kyrgios, I don't know what the future holds for him, but that's an option. On paper, you have got Tierney, who's probably going to be gone. On paper, you've got Zinchenko, who's got 2 years left on his deal. And you could argue, you know, he might not necessarily fit where Arsenal need to go, people. So let me know your thoughts on that. Once again, you know, apparently Sesko will make a decision on his future before the Euros. As I said, we probably need to bring in a backup goalie. We've been linked with the Feyenoord keeper Justin Breachlow. Forgive me for mispronunciation. Allegedly, he's on both Arsenal and Liverpool's shortlist for goalkeeping recruitments. Man United were linked with him last summer. You know, he could follow Mr. Slot to Liverpool, his old manager and whatnot. The 26-year-old is one of 4 keepers named in the Euro squad. Does he want to be second fiddle to David Raya? I don't know. But if we can have a more competitive squad, I'm all for that, people. What's this? Arsenal, Aston Villa, Chelsea, Man City are big fans of Xavi Simons, but PSG star is pushing for a return to Barcelona instead. Would love Xavi Simons, people, but whether we've got the finances, whether PSG want to let him go, I don't know. There's been some rumours that he actually has a clause where he gets to decide his next loan club, but he's a player us Arsenal fans have seen up close and personal, can play in a number of roles, very good dribbler, very good passer. You know, people have probably known about him since he was 12, 13. He's one of them that was on YouTube and stuff, and very rarely do you see that correlate. And at 21 years of age, it feels like he's been around. He did come through the La Masia Academy. You know, he's been at a lot of good academies, so we'll have to see what happens there. Dybala, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United linked with Dybala. I think that's gone, but he's got a £12 million release clause. I don't think it makes sense. Dybala's a quality player, but not someone that it sounds dumb, but he plays good football. Like, he's a very good footballer to watch, but I don't think he's someone that's going to make the difference, going to get the goals that we're going to require, worth the wages, or worth any, or doesn't provide any longevity. Of course, he's versatile, can play in a number of roles, very cultured, high technical level. But when I look beyond my admiration for him and look if he's the right fit for the club, I don't really buy it. Now, if Arteta brought him, then I'll respect it, and we could definitely do a lot worse, people. Aaron Ramsdale's departure from the club feels like a matter of when, not if, according to Charles Watts. Apparently, the whispers around Ramsdale and Newcastle have been circling for some time now. Newcastle have actually been linked with other goalies. There has certainly been an expectation for the past couple of months that this is a move that could happen come the summer window, but I haven't heard that anything has been agreed yet. Ramsdale was quick to rubbish talk of any agreement last week, but I do think he'll be on the move at some point over the next couple of months. Obviously, we have the Euros coming up and he'll be away with England, so that could delay things. And Arsenal also need to be confident they can land a replacement before sanctioning an exit. But I do think both things will happen. It's a matter of when Ramsdale leaves, not if. The key thing for Arsenal is getting value for money. I saw an initial fee of 15 million mentioned in reports last week, and that is quite frankly ridiculous. Arsenal signed Ramsdale for nearly 30 million 2 years ago, and he has developed into a far better keeper since then. He's still young, he's still homegrown, an established England international, and has a long-term contract. Yes, interested clubs will know that Arsenal's stance in any negotiation will be weakened somewhat, given he is now clearly behind David Raya in the pecking order, but that shouldn't mean the club should basically give him away, which is fact. Ramsdale is a top-class keeper, and he's shown that Arsenal, when you look at what other keepers have moved on for in the past couple of seasons, a bid of 15 million shouldn't even be one that Arsenal entertain. I agree for what it's worth, people. This is said, Mikel Arteta is closer to moving to Manchester City in 2025 than he is to extending his contract at the Emirates. Seems when this, at some point during the summer months, Arteta has signed a new deal. You know, he's contracted until 2025. We need to get a move on. Don't know if the rumors are right, people, but for where it is, apparently Gabriel Jesus has undergone a medical procedure to clean his knee. The return timescale hasn't been released. He was determined to play the end of the season and chose Arsenal's run in over playing for Brazil in the summer, which I'm sure he's gutted that he won't be going to the Copa America with Brazil. But I hope he can get this, you know, knee sorted out, get over that, and get back to the first 6 months, really and truly, maybe even the first month of when he signed for this football club. I am not giving up on Gabriel Jesus. I know it's concerning with the injuries and the lack of consistency. He's falling down the pecking order. He's never going to, in my opinion, be a strong goal scorer. But I'm not being funny. We've got bigger problems, and I'm keeping him really and truly. So rest up, my dude. I'd imagine we find out at some point Benjamin White's going to have some small medical procedure. We've been linked with Fenerbahce's Ferdi Kadıoğlu once again, people. The defender, apparently, according to reports, Arsenal will send an official to Istanbul to hold talks with the Turkish club for the left back. Apparently, Mikel Arteta's side are pushing to sign the 24-year-old in the summer window. Arsenal have joined Bayern Leverkusen in making a formal offer for the defender, and that's all the report has to say about the Bundesliga side. Coming back to Arsenal, it's explained that they are insistent about signing the Turkey international. The report adds their offer is around 20 million euros without making it clear whether or not it included bonuses. It may not matter because the proposal hasn't pleased the Yellow Canary so far, and therefore the North London club are planning to return with an improved bid of 25 million euros, which will include 20 million euros fixed fee and the rest in bonuses. This individual is expected to leave in the next window, and it remains to be seen whether his club will sanction his sale if Arsenal were to return with a 25 million euro proposal. So we'll have to see exactly what happens there. According to Fabrizio Romano, Arsenal have recently sent their scouts multiple times to follow João Neves, people of Benfica. I've got a video coming out for him. And finally, I just expect to see rumors of us going for João Cancelo once again. Manchester City are asking for 25 million euros, but apparently Xavi wants him to stay at Barcelona and the player wants him to stay. And to be fair with you, Man City ain't selling Arsenal no players after the last 2 years. You know, it is what it is. So on that note, let me know your thoughts, people. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on everything we've discussed. Most importantly, stay safe, stay blessed. Check out the rest of the content. Peace.